Hey, and welcome back. This is vlog number 2 for the month of January. Now for some backstory. I was anticipating and planning on making this video more focused on my training and what I actually have been getting up to in the winter. I had a script written and I'd actually already taken some footage and started to produce it. But then I had an idea to make this video about resolutions. How I want to improve myself and how I plan on doing that. So for those of you who were wanting a 5 to 10 minute video of kind of seeing my training or me riding or things that I've been getting up to, I apologize, but you have to wait for the next installment of this vlog. I think this video will give me more accountability towards my goals moving forward, and hey, maybe it might inspire someone to change some habits that they dislike as well. Resolutions. In the past, I've had a lot of personal struggles that have been extremely destructive towards my goals, not only in cycling, but in life in general. For example, I'm extremely self-critical towards pretty much everything I do, especially if it's something that I do truly care about. A great example of this, because I love riding my bike and racing, is racing itself. In the past, when I crossed the finish line, as excited as I am to be finished the race, I'm often a little let down with how I actually finished, and I'm always thinking of ways that I could have been faster or I could have passed that next guy. There's only been a couple of races that I finished that I've really truly been happy with and not thought, I could have done this, or I missed that rut and this guy passed me. I should have pushed harder on that climb. I'm not as tired as I should be. Just stuff like that. And as a result, in the past, I've been really harsh and negative towards myself and my previous actions. And this has often made me not really want to try in the first place. In my mind, if I never really tried, then I can never really fail because I have an excuse to fall back and blame it on. I've also had some pretty extremely poor organizational skills. All of my stuff is almost a complete and constant disaster. Actually, here, one sec. If I bend over, I have a cup and a little container that's been here for I don't know how long. Anyways, and I've historically not had great time management skills either. I have a bit of a go with the flow attitude mentality, which is great till it isn't. And I'm terrible for procrastinating. I leave everything to the last second, and that's not great. And without being too self-critical in this video and exposing all my little shortcomings, these are just a few of them. And for years I've kind of ignored them and just wished they'd get better without doing anything about it. But for whatever reason, this year I decided I wanted to address them. Self-help books. Something that historically has been looked down upon or frowned on by the average person. I will admit they can be really preachy, and I think the authors might be a little bit psychotic as well. But I think they can be really beneficial. For example, I've really struggled to let people see my true thoughts and feelings, and I'm never 100% or even 80% honest with people about how I truly feel. And don't get me wrong, I have done a fair amount of counseling or therapy or whatever you want to call it or whatever you feel comfortable calling it. And that, don't get me wrong, that has helped me a lot in my day-to-day life. To those of you who know me, which you probably do, I struggle with anxiety and depression, and the tricks, techniques, and habit skills that I've learned from doing counseling has been extremely beneficial to keeping me happy and content with my day-to-day life. But whether I realized it until now or not, there's always been a bit of a piece missing. And And I think that's where self-help books have helped me. I'm able to be 100% honest with myself without letting other people in, which admittedly isn't the healthiest habit. But they really make me want to better myself and become a version of me that I'm truly happy with. And with that being said, the one takeaway that I've learned and I think is the most beneficial to me, at least so far, is eat the frog. Bear with me a minute, please, and let me explain. So years ago, I had a college prof who at the end of every class would say, if you only learn one thing from college, eat the frog. And what he meant by this was do the hardest, most difficult, or least look forward to thing in your day first. And his saying, eat the frog, it always made sense to me. I understood the concept of it, but it never really stuck with me. I didn't really see how it was beneficial in my life. And for years it's kind of been rattling around in my brain. Every couple of months the saying eat the frog will pop up and it'll remind me of some strange and weird moments that I had in his class. I'll just shake my head, laugh it off, and pretend like nothing happened. That is until a couple of weeks ago. I was reading a couple of chapters of Think and Grow Rich, one of the self-help books I've been reading recently, when suddenly something in the book made that old quack saying click. Suddenly, out of nowhere, it made perfect 100% complete sense. It was almost like it was written in front of me with 20-foot glowing letters, completely unmissable. I suddenly realized that this one saying could help be the solution to many of my shortcomings. By doing what I dreaded most first thing in the morning, or first thing in the day, then I have all day to do the things I actually want to do and actually enjoy doing, as opposed to procrastinating over the one thing I don't. So, with all that being said, how does that impact me in 2021? I'm gonna eat the goddamn frog, and there's 5 ways I'm gonna do that. Firstly, I know I've struggled in the past to do training at the end of the day, especially after work. So the first thing I'm gonna do every day after I eat breakfast is do my training. Wind, rain, snow, whatever the weather, I'm gonna get out there and I'm gonna get it done right away. I know I'm gonna feel better because of it, and I'm gonna be happier because of it, so I'm just gonna do it first. Secondly, I have had poor planning and time management skills. So while I'm eating breakfast, I'm gonna write down 3 things that I want to accomplish throughout the day, besides my training, and I'm gonna hold myself accountable to completing those 3 things every day. It could be as simple as making my bed, but I want to instill the habit of completing those things. Third, I have terrible organizational skills. So I'm going to put in place organizational systems that work for me. Whether that's something like breaking a habit, like not emptying out the car when I'm done with it, or throwing riding kit on the floor once I'm done a ride, to creating actual storage solutions for my stuff to keep my things better organized so that everything has a home. 4, goal setting, something that hasn't taken priority in the past. As I mentioned, I tend to have a go with the flow mentality, which isn't great because then I don't really have anything to strive for. So I will create and write down some definitive goals with end dates, and I'm going to share them with you guys at the end of vlog number 3 to help hold myself accountable to them. And finally, every week I will do some self-reflection. I'm going to write out some of my thoughts for the weeks, my highs, my lows, and kind of keep track of things that either did or did not work for me. And my goal is to try and learn from my past as opposed to forgetting about it. And on that, let's just start right now. What were some of my highs and lows for the month? I'll start with my lows so I can end with my highs. The Enduro race calendar got posted, and it's far from promising for me to complete any sort of points racing. There's only one points race in Canada this year, and it's a World Cup level event, which I don't qualify for because I couldn't get points last year. That's extremely frustrating. I've kind of been looking forward to doing some higher level races for the last 14 to 16 months. So it's a bit of a downer, but oh well. Any racing that comes my way next year I'll be happy with. And I've struggled with motivation to train sporadically since finding that out. I think a large portion of that is just knowing that my goals and kind of what I've been working towards I'm not able to do because there's no racing for me to actually do. But I do think kind of some COVID and winter fatigue are definitely playing a factor in that as well. And now my highs. Last night at the time of filming this vlog, I was on another All Wheels Rolling podcast, which I'm super excited about. I always enjoy talking to Mark. It's always a laugh, and doing the podcast is a great excuse to talk to him about just things. And his podcasts are pretty awesome. He talks to a bunch of people from the Simcoe area, and I think it's really cool to get other people's experiences and perspectives, and I definitely recommend that anyone who hasn't, give them a listen. We're 1 month closer to dirt, which is outstanding. Winter is cold, and I miss dirt. And as a whole, my motivation is trending upwards. I'm excited to do any racing that comes my way this year. I'm not going to be too picky. If the only racing we can do is road racing, you'll see me pinning numbers on pretty quickly. And I'm excited to see what I'm actually capable of doing with a winter of true training and not just kind of half-assing it. So I'm really excited to see what happens. Every day I'm feeling more and more fit, both in terms of measurable fitness, like what my coach Andrew can see on Training Peaks, and also what I can feel on the road or skiing, fat biking, whatever it is. And also just in terms of appearance, I look and feel fit, which is super confidence inspiring, and that's something I've kind of missed over the last little while. And finally, AWI has announced their weekly kids rides, which I'm super excited about. That's always been a huge highlight of my week, and I'm so excited to hopefully be doing that again this year. I've missed shredding with those little rippers last year, so I'm excited to do it again. So on that note of me feeling super stoked and excited for the year to come, I'm gonna end this video. To those of you who actually did stay and listen to the whole thing, thank you. I do truly appreciate it. And please let me know in the comments or DM me on Instagram, Facebook. If you have my number, shoot me a message. Let me know what you want to see. As much as I'm making these videos for me, I do want to make content that everyone actually enjoys watching. So please let me know any suggestions or any ideas you might have. It would be greatly appreciated. I have no idea what I'm doing, so any help is definitely welcome. Anyways, till next time, happy trails, and don't forget to like and subscribe. See you out there.